Episode 3.
Struggling to get your business online? You've come to the right place. Welcome to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Michael and Teresa Blaze.
Good evening. Welcome to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my wife, Teresa, and we are the Two Blind Marketers.
Hello, how are you doing this evening?
So, Teresa, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, we are going to talk about your most valuable asset within your business.
Well, that's got to be your logo, right?
No, it's not your logo, although your logo is important.
What about intellectual property? Isn't that kind of important?
It is, but not as important as the asset we're talking about tonight.
What about your inventory? I mean, it's got to be your inventory.
Yes, but if you don't have a place to sell that inventory, that's a problem. So, no, I don't think that's your inventory. I don't think your inventory is the asset.
All right, I think we played around. We played with their head enough. So what is it, Teresa? Tell us.
The most valuable asset that you have in your business is your prospect and or customer list. And yes, there is a difference between a prospect and customer.
So why is that your most valuable asset?
Well, think about it. How much blood, sweat, and tears do you put in to acquiring a sale, acquiring a new customer? You know?
A lot.
Well, yeah. Okay, So
the question, I think the more important question is, what's harder? Getting a new customer?
Or reselling an old one who already likes you.
Exactly.
And I mean, but then the question becomes, well, I don't want to, okay, so I can see that. You have to have a list. You want to resell them. So I just send them a whole bunch of offers, right?
No, you want to establish a relationship with that list. If all you do is hit them with offers, you'll be lucky to get them to open your email. And we've seen that firsthand with one of our clients.
Okay, so, well then, but I sell books, or maybe you're a plumber. What kind of relationship am I going to create with them?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, a plumber, you could do a lot. You can give them tips on how to save money. You can occasionally send them offers.
What if you were to give them a tip on how to keep that, toilet extra clean so that you don't have to be cold? What if you were to play the contrarian comer? I really don't want to have to come out to your place of residence and take your hard-earned money. So here's what you can do to do it yourself.
Yeah, there's lots of different things you can do.
Okay. Now, if you are not a local business, maybe you're just maybe you're trying to sell a book, or maybe you know a little something about the topic, and, you're just trying to get your name out there. Well, then you need to present yourself as the expert, and what better way to do that than with a list? You build that list. Okay, now let's back up here. You don't just want to build a list and not do something we call segment. What is it? What is that?
Segment.
Thank you. Call me the tongue-tied marketer. Anyway, you don't want to sit there and just pump out emails and not segment your list. Well, what do I mean by that? Okay. Let's say you have a person, and you have Jane and you have Joe. Okay, now, Jane reads your email and says, I like, but I'm not ready to buy yet. But Joe, he's a different matter. He reads your stuff and goes, yeah, I'm in. I want to buy everything you got. So he buys. Are you going to sit there and remarket the same offer to Joe?
Not if you're smart.
No. You're going to sit there and you're going to find a way. You're going to segment your list so that you can market different things to Joe while continuing to drip on Jane the offer that you've been trying to get her to buy.
Right. And, you know, and with your prospects, you don't want to hit them with your high-end offer up front. You hit them with your high-end offer up front, you're going to blow them out of the water. I can't tell you how many times I've opened an email, gone and looked at the offer and said, no way, Jose, this is just too much money, and I don't have a clue who this person is. I don't trust them. I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. Delete.
Yep. So, what do you do? And I think this could be applied to more than just list building. This can apply to social media. This can apply to any form of advertising you do.
Right.
Okay? What do? You build a relationship. You earn the right for the sale, and then you ask for the sale. Okay, I'm not saying don't ask for the sale. Never be afraid to ask for the sale. At the same time, balance that with wanting to help that person and wanting to build the relationship.
Well, and the same thing applies with the whole social currency thing. If all you're doing is sell, whether it's in the social media space or whether it's on your website, people are not going to be interested in what you have to say. When we were talking about social currency, if you recall, Therese, we were talking about it, you've got to bank some currency, some social currency, before you can withdraw, and you have to give before you can get. And the same thing applies here. Now, what do you give? What can you give them?
Well, you can. It really depends on who your market is. Okay, if you're a bookseller or a information marketer, you can give them reports on the topic. You can give them audios, DVDs, white papers, mind maps. If you are
what's a white paper?
A white paper. It's kind of like a research report. A little research report on the topic. Okay? You could create a little 5-page paper, put it into a PDF, and send it to them. All of a sudden, you're the smartest guy on that topic, and you have top of mind awareness, i.e., you are the first one that they think of. Right,
and you are in their inbox. And if you are offering good content and good information, in addition to good offers, then you have a much higher chance of developing a relationship with them and getting them to buy your product.
Agreed.
And I can't tell you the number of times that we've talked to business owners, and they're like, but I'm supposed to tell them to buy. I don't want to have a relationship with my people.
Well, then you obviously don't want to be in business.
I mean, this is the new business. This is the new trend in business. If you continue to operate in the old way, what we call interruption marketing, then your business is ultimately doomed to failure. I hate to tell you that, but hopefully this is a little bit of a reality check. Now, let's talk about something else here. You're saying that the most valuable asset in any business is your customer list. So
yep.
How do I'm just starting out. I've got a brand new business and I don't have customer one, but I need some customers. How do I build that list?
First of all, identify your target market. Identify your avatar. We talked about this.
Right. That was in episode 1, guys.
Okay, we talked about this. Identify your avatar. Then, sit down and figure out what can I give away that will be of value to them for free.
Right.
Okay.
Let's give a plumber as an example. Here's a really good one. I've got a good one. A plumber, you don't want to give away all your secrets, okay? But you shouldn't hold on so tightly to your the information and the knowledge that you have that people think that you're a cheapskate. But what you can do, you can say, okay, I'm a great plumber. I'm going to create a report or a video or something of that nature on how to find a good plumber. Think about that. So someone happens to come across your stuff and they find this report about how to find a great plumber, and all of a sudden they start looking at all the things in that report. Okay, a good plumber, they have good reviews online, they're bonded, they're certified. I don't know what all. I've never had to work with the plumber as a client, so I don't know all the different things that would entail. But now that person's looking at it, go, wow, this is really good information.
I can use this.
I can use this. Oh, and by the way, I think I found the perfect plumber right here. And so they pick up the phone and call you.
That is what you call adding value.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what you want to happen. You want them to call you, but you want them to do that from a place of education. You want them to do that from a place of trust. Right. That is ultimately what you were doing. You were building trust.
So I know I need to create a list. I know that I need to offer something of value to build that list. How do I capture that list?
Well, you do that using a lead capture system. Okay, you use a autoresponder and a lead capture system. Let me break these things down. A lead capture system is essentially a place that says, hey, enter your name and your email here to receive my free top 5 tips to finding a decent plumber or finding a good plumber, or, whatever you want to use there, okay?
Right.
Then you set that up on a web page. Now you can have your web developer do this for you, okay? If you have one, okay? You set this up on a web page, and then you go, all right, now you hook this up to an autoresponder, and there's a few good ones out there. There's MailChimp, Aweber, so on and so forth. In fact, we'll have some resources in the show notes page.
Yes, definitely. We personally have used Aweber for a long time. We recently changed to a privately hosted list, but Aweber is still a really good choice, especially if you're just getting started out. So
you basically hook it up to an autoresponder, and that autoresponder hosts your list, okay? And then you can send them messages and broadcasts and, keep in contact with them as you have need.
Right. How often do you want to mail that list?
Depends on the business. I can't really give you an answer to that because it depends on your business and on your market and how much that market will bear. You need to test that.
Right. Now, in order for you to test it, there's something else to consider. You have got to track your leads.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to have analytics on your pages, and you have to know what in the world your people are doing.
Yep, and for that you need Google Analytics.
Yep.
So we know you need to have value. We know you need to have a lead capture system. We know you need to have an autoresponder. You also then need to have Google Analytics to track what your leads are doing. What else do you need?
Well, you need to drive traffic to that capture page.
Okay. Well, how am I going to do that?
But sometimes a capture page, by the way, is called a landing page. So if you hear us use that term, they're kind of interchangeable in a way.
Okay. So you want to drive traffic. Now, we're going to cover traffic in a lot more detail in the upcoming podcasts, okay? But just for the sake of this one, how do you drive traffic?
Well, there's a lot of different ways. You can do paid ads. You could create a video with a link back to your capture page. Oh man, there's so many different ways. But we will definitely cover that in an upcoming episode.
All right. I guess now that covers basically the basic steps to list building and what you need to do. You need to, if you want to build your list, you need to offer something of value. You need to drive them to a landing page or a lead capture page, whichever you want to call it. Then you need to make sure they're brought onto an autoresponder.
Right.
For the exchange of their name and email, you want to give them a valuable, useful something.
Right.
That they can take action on or use right then.
Okay, there's one other concept that we need to talk about that we haven't really discussed. We should have probably brought it up a little earlier, but I want to make sure you understand this. This is pretty important. It is the concept of opt-in and double opt-in.
Ah, yes.
We have not discussed that. We need to discuss that.
Okay. So, opt-in. First of all, what is an opt-in?
An opt-in, what happens is someone goes to that page and they enter in, at the minimum, their email address.
Okay.
And a double opt-in is when someone opts into an email, into that capture page. You send them an email, and inside that email there's a link that they have to click in order to subscribe to the page. There are situations where you use both. Some marketers prefer to just use a single opt-in. The single opt-in is definitely a more
if you don't want to give your customer more, yeah.
It's easier to do a single opt-in than it is a double opt-in. If you want to absolutely make sure that the people that you are sending information to want that information, then double opt-in is the way to go.
Agreed.
And Aweber does that beautifully.
So, I think, Mike, with that, I think we've covered a good portion of stuff for them to take action. And obviously, we can't really break it down fully in a podcast. I mean, there's a lot more we could get into when it comes to list building and creating stuff that's of value that your customer wants. There's a lot more to get into. But I think
with that, sorry, Teresa, didn't mean to step on you. With that, we're working on building our own list here. So we would like you to go to sbppodcast.com/free gift. And we have a great report that we think is going to be of a lot of value to you. So just go to sbppodcast.com/free gift, and we will send out that information to you right away.
Alrighty. And I think with that, we will call it a show.
Guys, it's been a blast. This has been the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. Have a great evening.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. To catch all our past shows, visit sbppodcast.com.